Okay, you're live.
Okay, hello everyone and welcome to tonight's CYP Scrutiny Board. Thank you everyone who's touched on. We've had quite a lot of apologies. So can you read them out, Lindsay?
Councillor Amin, Councillor Trewella, Councillor Smale, Alicia Ahmed, Tracy Churchill, Matthew Trick, Andy Smith.
Okay, so quite a lot of apologies, but that is fine. We are quorate and we can get on with the business that we have tonight, which should be quite short as we have no reports to receive tonight. It's the same problem as we had last year, that this board is so close to the AGM, not able to get their reports together for this meeting. So it just is what it is, unfortunately. We're working on it behind the scenes to try and get it better for next year. But I think, again, if we have a few items that we have in hand to just have options ready for, that might be a good predictable, yeah. Maybe some of our, maybe this meeting would be a good time for some of those items that have to be on the agenda, so that if the chair does change, these are things that the board has to discuss. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
actions as well.
And actions, yeah.
The actions came. Excuse me. The actions came through last minute.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's great. We got to welcome Sam, our new youth mayor. Thank you for joining us, and yeah, it's really great to have you. I hope you're looking forward to this. Is an interesting board. It's not very interesting tonight, but it is a really interesting board, and we're really looking forward to you taking part with us. So great to see you. So there are no late items to be introduced by me. So declarations of interest. Any, obviously. So minutes from the last board meeting. Have we all read and I think about them?
Yes.
Yeah. Are we happy to accept them as is, or are there any amendments that we want to see from there? Excellent. So last meeting was very interesting. Yes, we enjoyed immensely. And that's reflected in the minutes. Okay, so the main topic of information tonight is what we're going to do with this year's on the board. So I've had some suggestions from various people, but I'm open to more. This is an important board, obviously, and we need to be looking at all the variety of different services that we provide for young people and children of the city. So the possible items that I have had suggested through certain councillors, thank you, and officers. We've got management of school exclusion to their work programme, which, yeah, that sounds like a really good one to me. I imagine that Councillor Wright, you certainly agree.
Yes, I did. I picked that up. I was at the internal audit and governance committee, and under systems and risk audit, it listed a number of areas that needed further investigation or scrutiny processes. Absolutely. And that was one of those that was listed, so I thought it was best to recommend that it came here.
Definitely. Brilliant. So yes, I'm happy to accept that. We've got higher needs block. That's about the special needs in the community, isn't it? And that's potentially coming for September. So we're looking at the send EHCP timelines in September. So if we try and make that one in our send month, because I think like last year, having a theme for each month is useful. Not that we won't accept boards from reports from about things that are not part of the theme. Just it gives us a structure that we can work towards, and that means that people, officers know what's coming to help them. So,
Chair, could I interrupt?
Yes.
Because, one of the officers has suggested bringing staffing in children's homes and placement sufficiency to the September meeting. Would that be?
absolutely. I think, like I said, we're willing to accept other items as well, and children homes might include send children as well. So yes. So looked after children, a report on them. Yes. Yeah. Excellent. So the other one that, yeah, we'll go through this list first and then. So that one's, yeah, CYP and adult service provision and delivery impact by full compliance with Mental Capacity Act and DOLS. What's that about?
That's a deprivation of liberty, safeguarding. It's safeguarding of children and young people, and also.
Okay, so safeguarding, yeah.
And it's a possibility of bringing a joint report, but later in the year, perhaps in December.
That sounds okay. So December or February, can be our that area.
Yeah.
If they need a bit more time, that's fine. I think that's around when they came with reports on that area last year as well. School champions role and remit. That's.
I think that was something Councillor Trewhella suggested, but I'm not too sure exactly what's involved. So
we'll confer with school champions as in the councillor school champion, or but we'll have to ask Councillor Trewhella what, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
Sure it's
I'm
something.
not sure to inspire to
Signposting of mental health charities and organisations for teachers. Yeah, that can go in with mental health. Yeah, definitely. That's something we talked about a lot last year as well. And obviously youth mental health is a huge issue, which we need to, I believe we'll have to have several reports on various different aspects of mental health. So we could have mental health in SEND, we could have mental health for,
quite a lot of items for the September meeting.
Yeah, but I'm not I'm not suggesting it will come to September.
Right, okay.
Just
accepting. Yeah, that's brilliant.
I'm just saying. And then the last one on this little list is Derby and Derbyshire Children's Safeguarding Partnership. Again, that's another one that we have to receive.
Standard.
That's one we have to receive every. But a safeguarding month would be useful at some point.
Okay, if I'm making a
would be good. I have a list which I haven't emailed you yet because it's growing, Lindsay. I was particularly interested in receiving a report from CAMS to particularly about what provision they're having for children. I know they have provision for young people, but I am getting through my counsellor role, in my ward, talk about from parents about they can't get access to mental health provision for children younger than 13, 14. So I feel that a report on the provision for younger children might be a useful one, but a general report on that.
younger than 13.
Younger than 13 children rather than adolescents.
Yeah.
Because they are children's and adolescents' mental health, aren't they? That's right, isn't it? CAPS. Yeah.
When I think of CAMS, I immediately think of adolescents,
Yeah,
not children. So yeah, we don't want to exclude those people.
exactly. And children are struggling, especially after COVID.
I was thinking,
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I think that is something that would be really important and potentially important for when we're doing if we continue with the same topic review, which we'll go on to now. Do you have any ideas of reports or items that you would be interested in as youth mayor that you would like to bring?
One of my aims is mental health. So asking the same mental health in adolescents and children. Just anything around mental health.
Anything around mental health.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that is the major issue facing young people at the moment.
Yeah, also, sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Especially in schools, report like what things are set in place to see like if it's working or like why it's not being used.
Yeah.
That would be
And what is the problem?
Yeah.
So excellent. That sounds good. I mean, I think that's a reasonable list to be getting on with. Have you got any further? Yeah.
I was going to mention that there's nothing about skills really.
Skills.
Yeah, and I think we did have a report on that last year, didn't we? So I think we should include that.
Yeah.
Just because it is, you know, in the title of the group.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just skills.
Skills. Skill building.
Yeah.
Skill. Did we look at the schools results? Or I can't quite remember what we did cover last time, but about education and not just
academia, but practical.
Yeah.
Where is the practical part? Not practical, because academia can be practical as well, but where are the skills for where can children get the non-academic skills? That's the word. It's been a long day.
Vocational skills.
Yeah. What is our provision looking like for children who are more gifted in that area? Because it's important to acknowledge children who are gifted in vocation.
That's good. Slant on it.
Yeah, so vocational skills we're interested in.
It is part of this committee, isn't it? So,
Oh, definitely. Yes. No.
Can I ask a related
What you can.
question in terms of skills and employment? I don't know whether the information will be given to us by the portfolio holder, but you are aware that one of the key areas or remit of the combined authority, in addition to looking at transport issues, housing, that skills and jobs happens to be one of the designated area. Now, I have been elected, well, I have been put on, nominated for the board that deals with skills and employment. Well, I think that at our AGM, that was actually endorsed by the AGM. So I just wondered whether there is scope, because we do deal with young people, we do deal with skills. So whatever is being discussed and suggested at that combined authority level, is there scope for that then to be part of our discussion, so that there is some seamlessness in terms of vision and
cooperation is key. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. I think that sounds like a very good idea. So
I don't know how we can badge it. I'm not quite sure how we can badge it out, but I would have thought that the portfolio holder for this area, because at the moment it's John. John is currently also on that advisory body in addition to myself, so I don't know whether he will include that in his report. I don't know.
It'd be good if he could, and then we can also discuss it in this board as things come up.
Yes, absolutely. So apprenticeships, etc.
Apprenticeships, employability,
yes. Absolutely.
Just general skills building.
Absolutely.
We could do a report on NEET young people as well.
Absolutely.
I would, where is the skills building happening with the NEET young people who are not in education, employment and training? That's it. I hate that. But anyway, it's important I think that's an important one to bring to this board as well, something about how we are caring for these young people who by the dint of being NEET become more vulnerable to long-term unemployment and things like that. So yes, young people in the NEET and mental health issues and all those things. So it's really hearing what provisions we're doing for NEET young people. I would really like to hear some things about young people beyond mental health, but their physical health aspects as well. What how are young people who are maybe long-term unwell? There are young people who are long-term.
Conditions, various conditions.
Yeah, so that can,
anemia.
especially if they've got long-term sickness and are in hospital, what provisions for them is in place? Are they getting the education they deserve? Are they getting socialisation activities like youth work happening with them? Those are questions that I'd like to ask this year. I think we did touch on them last year, but I think there is more scope for looking. And I think also we had a report from a group working with young mothers. And I think in the dint of those babies are children who, you know, what provision is being done to keep young mothers, and some of those young mothers will be young in education and well in themselves. That would also be useful. If that makes sense. Yeah, that's quite a bit to get on, isn't it, Lizzie?
Absolutely.
So you're not gonna have a quiet year this year. Sorry. So are we, any more ideas, or do you think we?
Yeah.
So I'm very caffeinated. I've had too much coffee today, so that's why I'm speaking like 100 miles an hour. So
You can always add to the work programme.
Yes,
As
as ideas come in, and obviously we have many councillors absent today for various reasons. So we will hear from them as well, and I always welcome other people's input, and I would really like, we didn't talk about transport, home to school transport as well. That's another ongoing. Is there? It's on the forward plan. Okay. Excellent. That's fine then. I can't retain these things. It's
What's anything that emerges?
anything that comes up, anything that emerges, please shout. Especially with your new role. Congratulations on that.
We'll wait and see.
Well done. I don't. Yeah. Anyway. So topic review. Obviously, we didn't get to real grips with our topic review we decided on last year, but I do still think it is very important what we decided on last year, and we are ready, aren't we? Everything is ready to go, and the officers are primed to do it. I think there might, if them that's in charge will let us, there might even, if we get this one off the ground quickly, we might get it done early and maybe squeeze in a second smaller something before the end of the year. But the topic review for your helps, the plan was to examine ways of managing school, ways of mental health happening in schools. So what exactly your remit, what you've just described. What is happening? What is, how are people being supported? Is it, are there things that we can do that are easy and obvious, or even not easy, but obvious and would help the children to relieve the pressure that is on them? So maybe spacing out holidays more. I'd like to investigate all that sort of stuff. So it's about mental health in schools and well-being. I'm not sure our little blurb here quite covers the scope of what we were hoping. Does it, Lindsay?
You can adjust it. You can if you.
What's written here? Examine if ways of managing schools is conducive to children's mental health and well-being. There is pressure on schools and pupils to for example of pressure on.
Actually, in appendix 2, which is the housekeeping.
Yeah, that's it. So it's all wordy, but we can read this in our own time. I don't have to read it out to you, but I don't know. You can say, Emily, no, would be a better, something else would be a better thing, and I'm more than happy to hear that. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a useful topic review to have. I think
we need to get it happening this year.
Yeah, I think we should consider mental health Not in all honesty, all of the reports that we receive in
Yeah.
schools.
Like we do for environmental impact.
Yeah,
We should be considering mental health impact
yeah.
in all our reports, I think.
And just on that, just going slightly, yeah. Several times last year, we asked officers to provide us with like a diversity, information about diversity. So it'd be useful if that was just a standard consideration.
Diversity in our programming and
Yes.
yes.
And
Are we talking and working effectively with all communities within our city and genders and
Embedding diversity within.
yes, it's just embedded.
Yeah.
It's just natural for us to
I think so.
have that. So, for example, management of school exclusions. I hope that there'd be data within that. I'm just asking really that will include
Gender,
ethnicity.
ethnicity, and perhaps socioeconomic,
background.
although they probably will be interlinked.
Yes. Well, they always,
Similarly with mental health.
unfortunately, they often are.
Mental health gives some indication of the backgrounds of children, young people who are
Well,
within our provision, needing the provision.
and are they accessing that need it as well? Because there is stigma in certain communities, isn't there, around mental health, like, and genders as well. Sorry, young men particularly. But in general, women are more willing to talk about their mental health. Actually, it is perfectly acceptable for boys and men to be open and emotional. And I think that's very valid. So can we put that in part of our requests so we want it in all our reports, we would like a breakdown of diversity statistics. Obviously we don't, within GDPR, and all that jazz, but and also, how we are improving those as well, because we have such a diverse, beautiful city. So we should be looking at all that. And also when we're out and, are we challenging stereotyping and discriminatory language and behaviour, harmful language, because it's harmful. It hurts people. And that's, and that includes LGBT as well. Q. That's, since we are in Pride Month. So we should also acknowledge, if we can get that data. I mean, as appropriate. If the data is there, we would like to see it and be able to discuss it, and maybe find, because obviously our board has always been very collaborative and looking for the solutions as opposed to looking for the problems. So we see the problems. We have always been very good at suggesting, I think anyway, on this board, suggesting solutions to officers to go away with and being collaborative and helpful rather than combative and pulling people apart. And I think that's a useful way to continue. Let's be rigorous, obviously, but we need to continue on that frame. I don't know. It just makes for a nicer meeting as well.
So I was wondering if we can also look at, I was wondering, I had like maybe this like social media impact, as a screen hill, for instance, that relating to how much maybe a young person will use their phone or the media and not do other activities, and how that can contribute to their mental health.
Yes. So impacts of social media on young people's mental health. We can want to add that to topic review or into a report into the board, or both?
Report.
Okay, so impacts of social media on, I don't know who we'd get that, maybe from people who are more involved with the youth signposting that we discovered last year. That would be
I've made a note of it.
great. That's really good. Wow. Okay, so is there any other business or anything else that we want to discuss tonight? No? Well, thank you all for finding the time to come. I'm really pleased to see you all. Eid Mubarak to anybody who is celebrating today or has celebrated yesterday. I know there's 2 days where different traditions celebrate.
Yeah.
So Eid Mubarak to anybody out there on social media who is maybe watching. And happy Pride to anybody from that community as well. Yeah, we'll see you all again at our next meeting in September. Thank you, everyone.
You just see
It does. But, yeah, it'll come like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much. I want to.
Anything